Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Noelle and welcome to my new place. Pardon the messy hair. It's a little flat on top and that's because I slept with it in braids and it just hasn't had a chance to bounce back on top. What can you do, right? It's a bad hair day. But you just gotta live with it. So yeah, let me just take you through the purpose of today's video. And it's not that I want to brag or anything, but I did release a video about building a house many months ago at the start of the year. And it's only just now that I've actually been able to settle down and take things in and really start to believe that this is my place. It really is. I'm not going to give you a full house tour because people always say that you have to be wary about doing house tours online because you can give unsavory elements and insight into how to break into your house, what kind of valuables are in there. So the purpose of this video is probably to share the things that I have learned during this time because it has been an informative experience in my life. I've never financed or built anything in all of my 30 plus years. This is the first time this has ever happened. I hope it's the last time that I'm building a house for myself. I hope to stay here for a very, very long time. So we made weekly visits coming here to see the progress of the place, and we were assured that we would be able to move in sometime in March or April, and that just did not happen. So one of the first things I've learned is that construction timetables can and will get pushed back, so you have to manage your expectations. It wasn't really an issue for me because I was living with my parents in a place that we actually owned and were paying off the bank loan on, so we weren't paying rent. But for my sister, she was paying rent on a place, and it got to the point where they had budgeted only so much time and money for having to pay rent. And so when construction went on for far too long, they just got stuck between a rock and a hard place. And that's not something that you want to happen when you're paying for construction as well as paying for a place to stay. Construction timelines can get blown to bits, especially when there are supplier concerns or even raw materials in the world. As you know, sometime in February, something major happened in the world. Another country invaded a country, so supply chains all over were affected, and the prices of raw materials also started shooting up even more than they were. They had shot up, like somebody tells me they've gone up 200% since the pandemic started, and invasions and the price of oil, etc. It just didn't help any. I guess expect the unexpected and also assume Murphy's Law that whatever can go wrong will go wrong. We still had some grace because we were able to move in within the year that we had planned to. And and so that's why I'm here right now talking to you from this space rather than my old bedroom in the old condo. We've been here about 2 months now, I guess. It's going to be on 2 months now for me personally, and we've really started to settle in. And I guess it was also good we kind of moved in during the cooler months of the year because there was a lot of moving furniture around and building things, sweaty work that I don't know I would have survived if we had moved in here during the Philippine summer or the Philippine dry season. We had a lot of last minute additions that we had to pay for. We had to pay for a gate because of my parents' security concerns. I had to buy a water storage tank, which we still haven't installed actually, but it's because my parents wanted to have a water receptacle for days when maybe water supply wouldn't be as reliable. And so all of these unexpected expenses kind of blew my budget out of the water. I'm thankful that I had some savings, but I'm really scraping things together at this point. So yes, always over budget. I think one of our mistakes was that we were told that it would take this much to build this house. We trusted that number. We didn't really budget extra. Another of the issues that happened while we were trying to move in here was the blatant corruption in government agencies and regulatory boards or offices that govern this entire thing when you move into a house. And I don't want to speak too freely about what's happened and which city I've moved into, but that's another thing that actually blew our budget out of the water, is because we had to make arrangements. We tried as much as possible to stick to the law and stick to what we needed to do, which actually ended costing us more because wala kaming nilalagyan na tao. But I'm happy we did it, because a lot of the things that we could have paid to get out of are actually things that will help keep us safe and also help us with certain things like house insurance and stuff like that. So in case something goes wrong, we have ticked all the legal boxes, even if we could have paid not to do so. There are a lot of things outside your control when you're building a house from the ground up. I'm just happy it's over, and I'm happy we've finally gotten to move in. Now let's take a look at some of my favorite spots in this house. So this is the space that I was just sitting at. This is a couch from our old place. So I tend to sit here or lie back here with my laptop on my lap and just work through. It's a common study area for many people, but you can see some schoolwork so that my nephew comes over and he does a little bit of homeschool here every day. Hi there, baby. This was actually part of an old cabinet. It was the top of the cabinet where I could put family photos and stuff like that. Some stuff from travels, etc. This is the kitchen, which is really more functional than decorative. All the dishes are piled here. This particular clock I'm really proud of because I found it online, and then I painted the hands so that it would stand out more against the black. This particular space by the door isn't finished yet. As you can see, some of the old paint samples are still here and haven't gotten rid of them yet. But this is where all the plants from my old balcony went. Well, not all the plants. The other plants are also in the backyard. But yeah, this particular arrangement makes me happy. It makes it feel so lush. This tree we set up as soon as we were able to bring the Christmas stuff over from the old place. And it's actually quite small compared to the rest of the house, but I love it. It makes the house feel like a home, especially during this Christmas season. I think this is my favorite feature of this house because we brought over an antique from my grandfather. He gave us this doorbell, and although it doesn't work anymore, it still reminds me that this place has a legacy. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this little peek into what's been taking up my time in the past few months and why I haven't been able to update this channel as much. It's only going to be for a little bit that I'll be preoccupied with this. I've already started doing other things and really easing back into life as normal, but this is my new normal. This is my new milieu, my new surroundings, my new context, and it's been such a blessing. I certainly feel like a lot of the clutter that's been in the back of my head has been cleared because we finally finished this house, but also because the surroundings are much nicer. No offense to my old home, but I definitely have more room to stretch out and grow, I feel, and do the things that I want to do. So yes, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you again next time. Bye!